Last week we learned about the issues of economic empowerment and how women, young women, even any citizen can actually turn what they have in their hands as a skill, and they can actually be helped by others within their communities to take it a notch higher. We spoke about economic empowerment for women and how other women are now taking it internationally. Welcome to Identities, the place where we talk about social, economic, and political issues. Today, I continue with Dr. Emmie Wade, the Executive Director of Kunzwana Women's Association. Doc, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much, Nyari. Thank you for having me.
Today, we want to really just learn. There is so many initiatives that are happening in Zimbabwe where we hear about women's economic empowerment, and there also has been outcries in our communities where we hear mari dzavanotipa hadzikwani zvichienda zvakadaro. We really just want to learn from you what economic empowerment is. I know that you have served internationally and globally around women's empowerment and many issues, community at large. You retired from the UN family. What made you decide to come and serve Zimbabwe, and why particularly women's economic empowerment?
Actually, Nyari, what happened was that when I was working in multilateral institutions such as the UN family, we were mostly concerned with very upstream policy formulation. And after a while...
By upstream
policy formulation is when you make policies that affect the generality of the citizens. In my case, it was about poverty reduction and poverty alleviation, particularly among women. But then you don't always see the link between upstream policy formulation and the actual transformation of the women, particularly those ones that are at the grassroots level or are on the margins because for some reason they've been excluded or are secluded. So that was the reason why I decided, okay, after retiring from the multilateral institutions, let me now use the experience and the knowledge that I have of policy formulation and now bring that policy issues right down to the grassroots where I can actually myself by actually practicing and ensuring that there is actual real transformation.
And that's why you chose to work with the initiative that you're working with. And I also understand that your mother is the founder of the initiative that you've started, which has been, now we are seeing 2 generations. Why is it important what is it that you learned from your mother and which you are building to the next generation?
My mother had a passion for crafts and handwork.
Wow.
And she always tried to influence, to excite other women around actually making and producing artifacts using different skills and crafts. And then when she then started Kunzwana Women's Association, she was pushing the idea that every woman must exhibit a skill that then they can either be occupied with or adopt to use for whatever reason the woman needed to. But then when I came on to take up her work was now to bring it forward now to introduce quite seriously entrepreneurship and to try and ensure that each and every woman who is capable of doing whatever they are able to do can be transformed or can be transferably into an enterprise.
I just want to, Doc, because I think we celebrate citizens like you who, like, you have served the world, but you still, in your retirement, want to come back and be part of the development in our dear and most lovely country. There are people who are coming from the diaspora right now who are saying, "Tunotangira papi, todini." What would be the advice that you have for such a person to say, "Imimi tukukone makaseva, mukaona zvakashanda kuma multilateral izvozvo nezvisiri kushanda, zviri kushandawo mu community medu tichazotaura a lot more nezvisiri kushanda." What would you say to a person ari kuda kudzoka kumusha kuti atange kuishanda ne something that they care about?
Well, do you know, Nyari, It's a responsibility for every Zimbabwean to be concerned about our country, to be part of its journey, to be part of its development. It doesn't matter where you are. You may be in the diaspora and you have skills, you have access to resources. You should just ask yourself, how can I connect to those who are on the ground, to those who are at home, and make a contribution? Every little contribution makes a difference. Those who are in the diaspora with their skills and resources can actually build on what we are developing right here on the ground and take it to the level of where they are. I know that a lot of our citizens who are in the diaspora are communicating with their families every day.
Right.
They are also remitting funds to their families every single day. So they can also, through that process, actually transfer skills, transfer resources that can be used to build not just the family, but the community and eventually the nation.
Just touching on this, this is quite amazing information you're giving us. Panika kufunga ini ndinofila kunge, oh, I've also gotten this feedback yekuti vanhu vanozobva kudiaspora, yes, you have been exposed. How can they work with the locals to actually understand that yes, you have all this amazing experience maona globally, but also on the local level? So just because you're coming from diaspora, you don't know it all. You can build, you can actually respect the information that is local and then build what you have with what they have.
You know, Nyari, identity
Right.
is a powerful thing. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You are a Zimbabwean. That identity carries you. That identity, the identification of being a Zimbabwean motivates you to want to be part and parcel of what is going on at home. And when you have people like us who are already here and who've also got international experience, and we can bridge the gap between them, those who are in the diaspora, and us who are on the ground. And then we can give them information. We can have a two-way communication where we can say, actually, at the moment, we here at home, we are no longer that who you left 10 years ago.
Amen to that.
Yes, we left 10 years ago. Yeah. Now we've moved. You know, we actually also now have very sophisticated baby showers. We have very sophisticated bridal showers.
We know
plan.
What we want.
Yes, we plan. We have dress codes. We have events. We have activities and very high-level activities. Even in the rural areas. Do you know that in rural areas right now, some of the women that I'm interacting with bake cakes, and these cakes are actually bought and are used at weddings or at birthday parties in rural areas. Right. So you can see that we have moved as a people, as a nation. We are very much in touch with what's going on globally, and that I think is a starting point for whoever who's out there would want to connect with those either family members, community members, or really citizens.
Hansi, we are more than 10 years from where you left us. And I think when you want to connect at home, in the context of women's economic empowerment or children's economic empowerment, any community initiative that you want to be part of, they know what they want. But you can harness your global exposure to come to where we are and respect our wishes, our experience, and then we bring something together and we can learn and move forward. We are taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to learn about how, as NGOs who are working in communities, can actually make, initiatives that really touch people's lives. Don't go away, stay with us.